Hey, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp defamation trial. And I'm sure you've heard a lot about this. I've been keeping up with it most days. In specific, this video is going to be going over all the lies that Amber Heard has told thus far, looking into different things from her past that show a problematic pattern of behavior, things that you've probably never seen before, things that I hope that they're bringing up in the court. This is some pretty bad stuff. Buckle your seatbelts and get ready if you're unfamiliar. Johnny Depp and ex-wife Amber Heard are currently battling in court as Johnny has sued Amber Heard for defamation. So far, it looks pretty bad for Amber Heard as she's been exposed in a number of different ways. In today's video, I wanted to go over her dishonesty and some very strange things that shows her true character. My main purpose is just to show you these things because, well, Amber was caught in a lie during court when her lawyer, Elaine Breedlove, claimed the actress used a makeup product by Milani Cosmetics to cover up her bruises from Johnny Depp. Now, the issue with this was the alleged AB took place between 2012 and 2016, but this product wasn't created until 2017. Milani Cosmetics posted a TikTok exposing Amber Heard.
There's one thing you can expect from me, and that's the unexpected. 'Cause I'm an international super spy. Super spy!
Now, it's important to say that while the attorney didn't specifically mention Milani Cosmetics, she did hold up the specific kit and say this was the one that Amber was carrying to cover up the alleged bruises by Johnny Depp. Here's the clip.
This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp. She's an actor. Do you honestly think she would have left her apartment ever without makeup? Do you think that she ever would have wanted other people to see her bruises and her cuts? This was what she used. She became very adept at it. You're going to hear the testimony from Amber about how she had to mix the different colors for the different days of the bruises as they developed in the different coloring, and how she would use these to touch those up to be able to cover those. She also used concealer, foundation. You'll hear from her makeup person that Amber didn't even leave her bedroom without having foundation on. And one of the people that was at the building testified. He said she had makeup on and it would have covered that bruise.
Now, it's a very strange thing for me to hear when somebody says that somebody's going to testify that this person was wearing makeup. Now, unrelated to this, when Johnny was in Australia filming Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales, Amber Heard had to face trial for smuggling in her and Johnny's dogs, Pistol and Boo. She was charged with 2 counts of breaching Australian quarantine laws by bringing the dogs onto a private jet. It was said that Johnny was unaware that Amber had done this until the dogs were discovered. In fact, Kevin Murphy, who at the time was Johnny Depp's estate manager, told Amber that she could not bring these dogs, saying that the relevant paperwork and permits were not complete, and it required a 10-day quarantine arrangements that had not been put in place. In a second witness statement, Murphy said he had been shocked to learn that Heard had taken the dogs with her despite our discussions and my warnings of severe legal ramifications. So she completely knew about this. But here's where the lies get really bad. Now, keep in mind that these lies were told under oath in the 2015 trial. And because of this, Amber Heard was investigated for perjury in an FBI-backed probe into claims she lied to Australian officials after smuggling her dogs into the country in 2015. Kevin was interviewed at length by Australian investigators and provided a lengthy witness statement that included emails between him and Amber. In the statement, it says, on October 11th and 12th, 2015, Amber asked me to call a witness, her former assistant, Kate James. We're going to talk about Kate a little bit later in this video, and ask her on Amber's behalf to lie under oath in an Australian court that was criminally prosecuting Amber. That is not good. Kevin goes on to say that he told Amber he was uncomfortable with obtaining a false statement, and this false statement was to say that she just had no idea that she couldn't bring those dogs into Australia. But the truth is she did. He says, before asking me to call Kate and solicit her perjury to submit to court, Amber forwarded me an email that she had received from her attorney, Marty Singer, dated October 11th, 2015 at 7:29 a.m., and this was attached as Exhibit A. The email said, if you could get Kate to sign a statement, it could be helpful. I don't know what your relationship with her is at this time since you fired her. You will have to be careful that she will cooperate and this will not go public if you ask her not to be truthful. This puts a bad taste in my mouth because this seems like the attorney is full well aware that he's about to do something illegal. This isn't the same attorney that is in the current trial with Johnny Depp, but it seems like Amber associates with dirty attorneys. Kevin says that Amber appeared very nervous and concerned when she subsequently told me that there was too much risk that Kate would go public with the truth regarding her knowledge that the dogs could not travel to Australia. Shortly after that, Kevin received a false statement from Kate, and Amber asked him to also submit a false witness statement regarding the dogs, Boo and Pistol. Now, I'm no attorney, but that seems illegal. When Kevin expressed that he was extremely uncomfortable, he was met with threatening statements from Amber. Well, I want your help on this. I wouldn't want you to have a problem with your job. So this woman straight up threatened this man's job if he didn't commit perjury and lie to a court under oath. When Kevin was asked why he didn't go to Johnny Depp about this so he could intervene, he said this: because Amber wielded a lot of power and would have made my life miserable. Now, of course, Amber denied every bit of this, but was later seen making jokes about her smuggling the dogs in. This came after she made a video apologizing to the Australian government about the incident.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important.
Now, I feel like this strongly shows her character, but even stranger than that is when she rescued a puppy and named it Hadya, which is an Arabic name meaning well-behaved. When the puppy began to chew on Amber's scarf, she called it and I quote, a little terrorist. This doesn't really contribute so much to Amber lying, but it does showcase her character, and even worse than that, there are other examples of alleged racism. She said in a 2018 tweet, just heard there's an ICE checkpoint in Hollywood, a few blocks from where I live. Everyone better give their housekeepers, nannies, and landscapers a ride home tonight. This is an email from Amber Heard mocking a disabled black man saying stereotypes are fun because he's sitting down drinking a Colt 45. This was within the email she was sending to Kevin about Kate. Also, here's a tweet that was shared by Johnny Depp's former lawyer that showcases she can be seen saying the N-word. There's actually a lot more evidence of her displaying this type of behavior, but one of the biggest lies is that she's a non-violent person. If you take Johnny Depp completely out of the equation, there's evidence to support that she is very harmful. In 2009, Amber Heard was arrested on the charge of hitting her girlfriend, ex-wife, Tasha Van Ree. Interestingly enough, I found some unseen footage where she's lying under oath about this specific situation.
Isn't it true that you've been previously arrested for committing domestic violence against your spouse?
I'm going to irrelevant, harassing, has nothing to do with this proceeding. It's argumentative. Go ahead and explain how you want to.
There was no domestic violence within that relationship, and the state of Washington, where I was arrested, immediately dropped the charges because they knew the exact same thing that I just told you, that no domestic violence ever occurred, and my ex has stated such. In fact, it was so ridiculous, those charges. It was a verbal argument, it was misinterpreted, misrepresented, and completely overreacted upon by two individuals in a power position. And as soon as they found out that we were partners, which we were not going to be arrested for before, as soon as they found out we were partners, the male cop, not this other woman who's later been brought into the press, this male cop put me in handcuffs, and that's there was no physical, and zero domestic whatsoever between us. It was a trumped up charge, and it was dropped immediately for being such.
Something I feel is very important to point out here is that Amber's not using her own words. She's actually repeating what Tazia said in a statement. Ree said in 2009, Amber was wrongfully accused of an incident that was misinterpreted and over-sensationalized by two individuals in a powerful position. I recall hints of misogynistic attitudes towards us, and it later appeared to be homophobic when they found out we were domestic partners and not just friends. Keep in mind what they're saying about the arresting officer. I think it's important, as you'll see soon, but Amber goes on to lie even further to the point where her attorney becomes frustrated and loses his temper.
Isn't it a fact, Ms. Heard, that on September 14th, you were in fact taken to jail? It wasn't dropped immediately.
Same objections, Vegas to
Same objections.
Isn't it a fact, Ms. Heard, that you spent the night in jail from September 14th to September 15th, 2009, as a result of your arrest for domestic?
Same objections. It's irrelevant.
Is that true?
352. She's already answered what happened. It's
Is that
vague.
true?
It's argumentative. It's harassing. You just want to, get your harassment in. Go ahead.
Let the record reflect Mr.
I just
Harder's
answered.
directing her not to answer. Did you
I
spend the night in
answered
jail?
you.
I never said don't answer. I never said that.
Reporter is about to.
That's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
Because she keeps cutting me off every time I say something.
There's no need to yell, Mr. Harder.
Well, I have to be heard. Everyone's talking over me. You've got a whole wall of lawyers over there who are
Ms.
talking over me.
May I continue?
except for Hans.
Can I say something?
Ms. Heard? Ms. Heard?
Now, before we go any further, I want to show you that this wasn't a trumped-up charge. This wasn't dropped immediately. Yes, she is lying. Here is the arrest report. She was arrested September 15th, 2009. She spent the night in jail. She was arrested for assault, which is domestic violence, and placed on a 2-year good behavior bond. That's not trumped-up charges that were immediately dropped. Another important point that a lot of people don't know is that Amber actually tweeted publicly about this situation, providing more context about the situation between her and the arresting officer. In response to somebody calling her out, she actually says that, "I did have a crap timing when I got mouthy with the cop. Oops." So if we're to believe Amber Heard about this situation in particular, it means that the cop randomly approached her. She got mouthy with her and then arrested her for domestic violence. Seems like there's a couple holes in that story. I want to point out that Tazia said that the cop was giving off misogynistic and homophobic vibes, but the arresting officer actually is an openly gay woman. She actually made a Facebook post saying, "I'm not sure who leaked to TMZ my pics, but I wanted to say personally thank you for setting the record straight. I am so not homophobic or misogynistic. The arrest was made because an assault occurred. I witnessed it, and the parties were in a domestic relationship." There's a lot of lies already being exposed. We're just getting started. Get you some food. Another situation involves Amber's previous assistant, Kate James, who testified she was emotionally, mentally, and verbally AB. It was even said that Amber used their 4-year-old as a prop to appear more maternal. It says this in the statement. "Amber obviously knew I had a young son, and in the beginning would ask me if I could bring him to the apartment so that she could bake cookies with him. I thought this was strange but sweet at first. However, I then realized she was taking photos with him, almost as a prop to send to Johnny. I felt as though my son was being used by Amber to portray herself as having maternal attributes." That's some straight up sociopathic stuff if you ask me. She goes on to say, "Often I would find Amber and her sister spending a long time getting very dressed up just to go to the Grove, a local shopping center for example. I soon realized she must have tipped off paparazzi who would then be waiting to take photos of her. After I would see the photos in the following week's tabloids, on one occasion my son was used during one of these staged paparazzi shoots. Amber didn't care that he was terrified. I had no idea that Amber was going to do that at the time." I would go as far to say that this is child AB, and honestly, it seems like she became super obsessed with her newfound fame. On another occasion, Kate talks about how she shared with Amber a very personal, tragic story of her being SA'd, and the most disgusting thing I've ever heard, Amber stole this woman's story as her own. She was asked in a statement, "Can you explain why you took exception to what Ms. Heard had said in her fifth witness statement?" She said, "Because Ms. Heard referred to a conversation we had about me being SA'd at a certain point in Brazil, and she used that as her own story." When I first read this, my heart sank. It was absolutely disgusting. This woman something is wrong with her. But this isn't the first time that she's been accused of stealing lines or stories from other people. As we've seen with Tazia Van Ree, she used what Tazia's statement was in her testimony in the 2015 trial. It's also been shown by internet sleuths on Twitter that she's using movie lines in her current testimony. The tweet says, if you're watching Amber Heard and felt like some of those lines felt strangely familiar, they are. She's stealing from film and TV and books. Here's a thread of what I've seen so far. And they show various different lines from media that seems like Amber is taking as her own. The most interesting part of this video, I think, is while I'm making it, hashtag AmberHeardIsAPsychopath is trending on Twitter. Even Johnny Depp's legal team accused Amber of acting on the stand, telling Page Six Thursday that Heard delivered the best performance of her life. Now, I don't believe we should put too much thought into if she's stealing lines from movies, because to me, it feels a little bit conspiratorial, but I'm honestly interested in your thoughts. Have you seen any of this? Let me know in the comment section below. Going back to Kate James, she testified in court recently that Amber spit in her face when she asked her for a raise.
She felt that gave her the right to spit in my face. And there was a witness in the apartment at that time, by the way.
Who was at the apartment at the time?
The handyman, Hector Galindo.
I'm sorry?
The handyman, Hector Galindo. He was so mortified. He was so embarrassed to hear her speaking to me like that.
Miss James, while you worked for Miss Heard, did you ever observe her drinking alcohol?
Multiple times throughout this court case, Amber and her legal team has tried to paint Johnny as an irresponsible addict, but Kate's statement reveals, in the course of my work, I became aware that Amber was taking a drug named Provigil, a drug that is prescribed for narcolepsy. I'd never observed Amber having issues with narcolepsy. However, I would see her routinely take around 3 times the prescribed dose every day and would panic if she was out and didn't have any on her. Narcolepsy medicine is very dangerous when it's mixed with other drugs and alcohol. I actually had a friend that passed away from that a couple years ago, so it's some hard stuff. I thought it odd at the time she was obtaining Provigil with prescriptions from multiple doctors. She actually submitted text examples to the court as evidence. The text contained where she asked to meet her with the pills regardless of where she or I was. She would flip out if she didn't have them. Provigil is quite well known in the industry as being misused as a weight loss aid, as it can cause loss of appetite. Kate goes on to say that Provigil can act as an amphetamine and keep someone up all night, and because she was up at all times, this put a lot of strain on Kate, but Amber didn't care and would often berate her, call her names, and AB her. It was difficult for her to feel sleepy at night. She would therefore need significant amount of wine to wear off the effects of the drug. She would drink vast quantities of red wine each night. Meanwhile, she would ask me to buy Johnny non-alcoholic beer, as that's all that she would allow him to drink. Kate also said that Amber was harmful to her own sister, Whitney, and there's a lot of other different evidences that also point to this.
You testified previously that you observed Miss Heard be verbally abusive to her sister.
Yes.
What do you recall about that?
It was ongoing kick the dog kind of relationship with her sister, so it's really hard to pinpoint any specifics, but her poor sister was treated like the dog that you kick, basically.
Amber's sister Whitney was accused of lying under oath to protect her sister. This is interesting because Johnny also lied to protect Amber at one point in time when his finger was hurt, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But this is the video that surfaced that led people to believe that she was lying.
You do it. I don't want to kill me. Did you get in a fight or something?
Oh, thank you. Got into an altercation.
Ow.
I already talked about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can't believe Amber beat your I know you could beat her.
We're not going to talk about that.
Whitney, truth or dare? Okay, did you really start the fight with your sister, or did she start it? For real, for real, for real.
We're not going to talk about that.
She really did whoop your butt.
Oh, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I guess I'm done talking about it.
In this video, you could see Whitney's friends concerned about the scratches and bruises that she had that were from this fight with her sister. And keep in mind what I've shown you here is just a few examples. Now, Amber has told so many lies, it's hard to keep up. I don't see how she does it. It's a monumental amount of just dishonest things. Actually, in a 2011 interview, she contradicted her current testimony. Let's look at it.
Were you a fan of Johnny's growing up?
I mean, who isn't a fan of Johnny's? That's a given. You know, he's been a cultural icon and a talented actor since I can remember.
So in 2011 interview, she said that she was a big fan, and then in the testimony, she said not that.
I knew who he was. I wasn't familiar, I wasn't a fan of his work. I wasn't familiar with him, but I knew who he was. He's one of the most famous people in the world.
In a series of text messages between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's father, it can be seen that Amber lied about getting a restraining order and the methods of which she went about that. Amber's dad said the lawyer told her she had to, or she would have no place to live in 30 days. Depp responds, "That's absolute BS. Her lawyer asked for 2 weeks at the downtown place, and I said no, she could stay there as long as she liked. Why would I force her out in 2 weeks? I ain't no scumbag. Dude, my effing wedding ring is still on me. I have not taken it off because I love her. It is coming off now. What a effing knife in the back. I'm so disappointed and so hurt. It's just too much. Later, brother. Feel better. JD." So I've already showed you a monumental amount of evidence, but there's more. Amber severed the tip of Johnny's finger and put a cigarette out on his cheek while in Australia. Amber's version of events changed several times, ranging from her not being in the country to watching Johnny do it to himself with a plastic phone to her being upstairs and seeing nothing. And keep in mind earlier I said that Johnny Depp lied to protect Amber just as Amber's sister did, but leaked audio shows the truth. This is unheard audio between Dr. Kipper and Amber Heard. Now, it's important to note that this audio that you're listening to is Amber's audio. It's not been tampered with, and it was her admitting to a lot of damage that's been done.
I remember looking around the room. I remember looking at all the broken bottles.
So before she said she did it all, in court she said she didn't, and now we're going to have her saying that she hurt Johnny. This is the Australian incident when she severed the tip of his finger, keep in mind. In court, again and again, Amber talked about the injuries that she sustained, but in this leaked recordings, the doctor is saying that she self-inflicted a couple scratches, and mostly everyone's concerned about Johnny's well-being.
What I do not want to do at the moment is jeopardize what we're doing with Johnny, because his finger comes first. And you know what? Seriously, no. If she has to stay here an extra 24 hours to get him sorted out, she stays here for another 24 hours if we have to. Because Johnny's more important.
It's important to note that this is Amber's medical team and not Johnny's, and their concern is with Johnny.
That's the scratches on her left arm, which David told me about. I've looked at it, and I've seen those scratches before on other people. And as far as I'm concerned, they're self-inflicted. I'm convinced about it, they're self-inflicted.
Now, interestingly enough, in the courtroom, she testified that Johnny was peeing on walls and this, that, or the other, but this is something that could have not happened because Johnny was in the hospital. Let's go to the recording.
Johnny took his out of his pants and started trying to pee or pee outside of the house.
I presume he's awake, that's what they're saying. Alan said he just left the hotel, so I'm assuming he's awake. But then to take him down there to have it done. And I will say, it is true, the quicker you get it done, the quicker it takes. It'll heal up a lot quicker. Okay?
So she testifies in court that the next morning he did all this stuff. The doctors are saying, her medical team is saying that morning he's in the hospital. Another interesting thing is that she admits to hitting him first.
Also, that she hit him first. She actually hit him in the face. And she admits to me, she threw a bottle on me. She did it first.
So she admits to throwing the bottle at Johnny and severing his fingertip, but in court, she says that Johnny started it. Again, the doctors are concerned with Amber using while she's on her medications, and that could interfere and make her act out. So this is very interesting new audio that I know a lot of people haven't seen yet. Bearing that in mind, like I said earlier, where Amber's sister was protecting her, Johnny also protected her. This is Johnny coming clean.
Basically, I had a pretty nasty injury. That I actually, I had to protect her at the time. And so I said that it was caught in the door, these huge accordion doors at this house. That wasn't the case at all. She smashed, she threw a vodka bottle at me. And my hand was resting on the marble of the bar like that. And the first bottle went just past my ear. And the second one was a larger bottle, and she threw it from about this distance. It smashed into the bar, and this finger, who I now call Little Richard, was the tip of the finger was severed, and all the bone in here was completely shattered. I mean, it looked like Vesuvius. And then I got infections. I ended up with MRSA twice, so it's very complicated. I was trying to just get the finger back, and then deal with the insanity of having had my finger chopped off by this woman that I was married to.
This man, despite all odds, was trying to protect Amber's career from herself. Here's some more audio where she admits to hitting him while mocking him for being a survivor.
So no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the thing, and you
figured
in the
it
face,
out.
and you said, "No, I didn't. What the f*** are you talking about?" And I watched you lie, and then
I didn't punch you.
And
By
then
the way, I'm sorry that I didn't
you
hit
punched
you
me
across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe. You're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights been around a long time. I know. Yeah,
no, when you fucking have a closed fist.
You get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here about it, am I? You are.
Oh,
that's the difference between me and you. You're a baby.
Because you start physical fights?
Such a baby!
Because you start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the fuck out.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and yes. It's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
I don't think I could make this video if I didn't mention what she did to his bed and how she tried to blame that on his dogs.
She brought up the situation of the fecal matter on the bed, and I and she tried to blame it on the dogs. But
Why didn't you think it could have been the dogs?
The dogs weigh, they're teacup Yorkies. They weigh about 4 pounds each. The photograph that I saw, and I mean, I lived with those dogs for many years.
Now, obviously, I'm not going to show you the picture of what she did to his bed, but I can let you listen to some audio where she admitted to somebody that she did do this.
And did you have any discussions with Miss Heard on the way to Coachella that evening? We had a conversation pertaining to the surprise she left in the boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment.
And when you refer to the surprise in the boss's bed, what are you referring to?
The defecation.
And what did Miss Heard say about the defecation in Mr. Depp's bed?
A horrible practical joke gone wrong.
Currently, the trial is ongoing with no signs of slowing down, but I felt it was important to make this video because, especially right now, because the sheer amount of lies, and there's a lot more. You can let me know what you've seen and heard of in the comment section below, because as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So just go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes. As always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. That was a lot here. I really appreciate you guys for being here. I can't wait to see what you think about this video. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of research. Now, if you're invested in this story, one of my friends made a video where he was going over all the signs of AB that Johnny has suffered at the hands of Amber. So this is a very in-depth video as well. I'll put it in the pinned comment so you guys go check it out. Thank you to my patrons. I really appreciate you guys' continued and ongoing support. We're about to beat some records over there. If you want to help support the channel and become a patron and get your name at the end of my videos, then I'll also put that in the pinned comment. Really appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe. Rest in peace to Greg the Cat. And that's just another way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're Greg and how you do. Just subscribe, notification turn on, be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there in spirit, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Now I got to edit this. I'm going to try to put more videos up this week. Thanks for subbing.